Hello everybody, this is Nuts Games with my playthrough of Doki Literature Club. I've seen this on Steam fairly recently. It's been advertised under the psychological horror and horror sections, but to me it just looks a bit like a dating sim, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but it's been rated extremely highly. You know, out of 11,000 reviews, it's have an average of like 10 out of 10, overwhelmingly positive, and it's free to play, which is, you know, a big draw for me. So let's get cracking and see what it's all about. Okay, this is weird. Yeah, it's not quite what I was expecting. Kind of a bit like one of those dating sim games. So let's have a go. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I'm pretty interested to see what it is. I got to say, I'm not a big one for these dating sims, so you may see me make some terrible decisions. I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to waste your time, do you? You don't want to be wasting your time waiting for someone who's asleep. Run away, run away. Sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ha ha ha! Oh no, overslept. Yeah, it's only because I waited. Yeah, knew it. I called that. Yeah, I wanted to run away, to be fair. No, you're wasting my time. Well, we're not. Okay, let's go to school. That sounds fun. By the way, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Hey, that's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Yeah, sounds like a good way to spend your time. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialise or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years, because you're not used to the real world. What's a NEET? You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises though. Yeah, I'll try. Go on then. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. This school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the board looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realise that I am the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Oh, the literature club in the game title. Okay, that makes sense. Not that I ever was aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. I would the same as well. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Well, I may have changed my mind then if cupcakes are there. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned it all out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yeah, let's go. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. It depends how good the cupcake is. I mean, if it's a terrible cupcake, you're going to regret that for the rest of your life. If it's a good cupcake, quids in. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Hey, I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Hello, girl one. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Oh, hello, girl two. Way to kill the atmosphere. Girl 3. Ah, Dan, what a nice surprise. How does she know my name? Welcome to the club. ... All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Score! What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? Humph. Oh, so girl 2 is Natsuki. She's the one I don't recognise. Okay, sour attitude. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes according to Sayori. Oh yeah, that's the one. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says quietly into my ear and then turns backward toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, right? That's right. I don't know Monica. Who's Monica? It's great to see you again, Dan. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. Oh, don't put yourself down, guy. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... ... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Dan. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Alright. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? Ooh, I like the sound of this club already. Is there any literature or is it all just cupcakes and tea? I like cupcakes and tea. The girls have arranged a few desks to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? I am. Ta-da! Oh, whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh, get on my face! The whiskers are drawn with icing and pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Oh, I love them! So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with a mouthful and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take. Just one mouth and it's gone. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavour. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for, you, dummy. What an idiot. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of us each, before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. Thank goodness. You can get into big trouble smuggling in contraband like tea. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica what I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everybody. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that makes sense. If you are dragged into something that you enjoy, but you don't enjoy sort of the atmosphere surrounding it, it can turn your hobby sour. So you might as well sort of take a step back and actually do something you want to do and enjoy it. And if it encourages the other girls to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. But I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in pulling out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we will all really grow in this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Dan, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of a teacup with a finger. My favourites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how well a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, horror, maybe this is where the scary starts. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. And give that back. Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Oh, that's slightly demeaning. Sayuri slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. What do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Showing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. ... I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. Oh, I want to read everyone's poems. Well, tough, Sayori, you can't. We all sat in silence for a minute. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Question mark? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other. Strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Dan? Yeah, I guess. I hope I don't actually have to write a poem. I hope it does one for me. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Hey, what's that? Now that we're back on the original topic of me joining a club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said that I would join this club. Oh no, don't you dare! Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I'd be in it for the cupcakes alone. A promise of a cupcake a week and I'd be there. I still have other clubs to look at and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry that I thought... Dan. Oh. You all, I'm defenceless against these girls. Just join. Go on. Just join it. It'll be fine. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Nobody tell her. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks I guess. Okay everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remembers tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Dan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I can already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Dan, since we're already here, do you want to walk me home? That's right, Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore, because she always stays after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Yay! With that, the two of us depart the clubroom and make our way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls, Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day, after school, in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Make your choice, everybody. Which one we going for? Monika? Yuri? The other two? Sayori and Natsuki, I think? Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favourite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Which one's my favourite? Yuri? I'll go Yuri. Vibrant, I suppose, because she's got purple hair. Let's go Vibrant. So she likes anime, doesn't she? Oh god, I don't really know. Let's go Portrait. Oh yeah, she likes Portrait. Good one. Okay. Beauty, Loud, Anxiety, Philosophy, Journey, Melancholy. I'll go Beauty. Oh, darn, wrong one. Okay. Dream, Clumsy, Lollipop Music, Sparkle, Skipping, Puppy Games, Tenacious, Daydream. I'm gonna go Tenacious. Yes, I'm winning. Judgment, Raindrops, Papa, Crimson, Socks, Whirlwind, Treasure, Rain Cloud, Chocolate Erosion. I'm gonna go Rain Cloud, I think. I think that's gonna be Yuri's favourite. Oh, damn it. Shiny, Whistle, Precious, Sing, Atone, Aura, Jump, Embrace, Vanilla, Unrestrained. There we go, yep. Awesome, Special, Bed, Romance, Adventure, Mouse, Lipstick, Happiness, Broken, Depression. Oh, I mean, she looks kind of sad, so I might go Depression or Broken. I know it's kind of miserable, but let's go Depression. Oh, no, Monica again, gosh. Okay, Destiny, Excitement, Hopeless, Tragedy, Shopping, Affirmatage, Alone, Hop, Anger, Cute. Let's go Anger. No. Essence, Insight, Despise, Flower, Sunny, Electricity, Cheeks, Heart, Time, Defeat. Just go Despise. Okay. Covet, Entropy, Inferno, Heartbeat, Disoriented, Existence, Comfort, Variance, Bunny, Hurt. Let's go Inferno. Forgive, Memories, Horror, I'm gonna go Horror. I think that was Horror. Yeah. Sunset, Smile, Charm, Secretive, Starscape, Passion, Friends, Sadness, Captive, Hope. I'm gonna go Sadness. Ah, Monica again, darn. Wrath, Fluffy, Desire, Determination, Infinite, Climax, Joy, Love. I'm going I don't know, I don't care who these words mean. I'm going Climax. Oh god. It's like it was meant to be. Vitality, Milk, Fickle, Imagination, Unstable, Cry, Unending, Rose, Agonizing, Kawaii, Kawaii. I don't know, I'm gonna go that. Flee, Boop, Silly, Holiday, Love, Death, Colour, Universe, Sugar, Dark. Dark. Oh, I think it's a bit of a toss-up between Monica and Yuri at the moment. They both seem to be picking a lot of them. Feather, Nightgown, Parfait, Misfortune, Massacre, Dance, Intellectual, Calm, Misery, Extreme. I'm gonna go... I think I might like Massacre. Yeah, there we go. Candy, Lucky, Nature, Peace, Pleasure, Amazing, Question Spinning, Heaven Sent, Dazzle. I like Heaven Sent. Scars, Sticky, Melody, Suicide. Oh god, these are getting a bit grim. Twirl, Meager, Fun, Jumpy, Cheer, Sweet. Let's go. Let's morbid this up a bit. Let's go Melody. Melody, Suicide. Doki Doki, Vivacious, Disaster, Together, Fireflies, Ambient, Frightening, Proof, Disarray, Swimsuit. I'm gonna go Swimsuit. No. Extraordinary, Vertigo, Empty, Pain, Infallible, Landscape, Bliss, Disown, Pout, Hair. God, this is all... It's getting a bit dark, isn't it? Let's go Hair. Nah, never mind. Yeah, see, I'm wondering when this is going to be turning into a horror game. Let's get through this bit and see where we go. Hi again, Dan. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I'm keeping my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last one to come into it. Everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. So Yuri told me you didn't even want to join the club this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Oh dear, I'm getting threatened. Natsuki, you have certainly a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry guys, Dan always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. Yeah, and cupcakes, don't forget them. Cupcake don't go amiss. He helps me with the busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Yup, that's my middle name. Sayuri, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Oh dear. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I suppose we are. I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Dan can become good friends too. Sayuri? I think what we're probably going to do is I'm going to have to try and pick somebody, aren't I, at some point. I think that's how these games usually work. Dot dot dot. As usual, Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even bought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayuri. Me? Not really. Oh man, I'm getting all excited. What have I got? Give me a present. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. I wonder if I could ever be as smooth as that in real life. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. What a nice guy. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into a bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Oh, that's kind. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Mona to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet, getting the tea out again. Is she? I hope so. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance from me, and our eyes meet for a split second. Oh no! How can you recover? ... But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading this bit, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Ah, yeah, I see the game you're playing. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Inspector Poirot over here. Solving all of the riddles. Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... No, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. Okay, that makes sense. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon, he says, putting it to the back of his list. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. Oh, she's not read it, has she? The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. It's the Illuminati, isn't it? Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah, sounds it. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. So that dark turn came from nowhere. Oh, this is cleverly done. I like the way this is coming out. Yeah, so that I'm expecting a dark turn, despite the sort of the happy-go-lucky sort of intro to this. Aha! Yuri gently giggles. All of a sudden, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Dan? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, that you thought related to the protagonist, they made out to be naive, the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with their villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. No, please go on. Don't apologise. I haven't lost interest or anything. That sounded so sarcastic. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. ... Let me get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I'd put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, yeah? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. It is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realise that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologise a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. If somebody says you apologise a lot, there's literally nothing you can do apart from say sorry again. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean into a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of a book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. That's a good system, but in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah? Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your own mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Dan, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing you would think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. ... I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Haha, okay everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah, Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. Oh, it's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read it with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. Yeah, makes sense. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. Oh, you need a bookmark, mate. You're gonna forget. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah? My relaxation ends. Oh no, I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Right, I'm going to show mine to... who should I show mine to? I think Sayuri. She's probably my best friend, isn't she? So let's go Sayuri. I'm definitely most... Yeah, I'd have thought so. She's my good friend after all. ... This is a good poem, Dan. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'd be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Oh, well, of course. I'm really not into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Dan. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayuri. I'm not sure if Sayuri sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now that you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. I like that poem. That's a good poem. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit or yes or no to a question. I forgot to do it last night, but at least that makes me feel a bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say anything. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you're late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. So who shall I show my poem to next? So we've shown it to, is it Sayuri? Yeah, we've shown it to Sayuri, my next door neighbour / best friend. So let's now show it to, I'm going to go Yuri, I think. She was the one I was reading the book with a moment ago. So let's see what happens. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Oh no, she liked it. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds a train of thought, it's as if her demeanour totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologising to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Is that calmly breathing air out of the present, but living in the past? The light flickers. I flicker back. Ooh, that's dark, isn't it? ... I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I literally couldn't read one of those words. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Yes, don't lie, I was. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read a script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo. Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Dan. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only get one glance at it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. Yeah, gosh, hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive too, so... No, I bet mine was absolute tripe. Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Dan. Me too. I'll show it to Natsuki. Well, that's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Is that a poem? That's a list of stuff. Yeah, I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it, he lied. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, it's just a list. Because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Some people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Oh, I get it. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. I understand. I do now. Yeah, it took a bit of explaining, but I get there eventually. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realised. That's what it means to be a pro. Natsuki, you truly are a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humour with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, I wouldn't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna go with... Oh god, I don't know who to pick. Monica. Hi Dan. Hello Monica. Having a good time so far? Yup. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ahahaha. Don't worry, Dan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. That's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Dan. I was doing ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. my life motto, that. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes that kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imaginary and symbolism. I wrote it with Yuri in mind. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. I think that's a lot of what poetry is, and sort of art in particular is. You take from it what you want to take from it. There's never, well, often there isn't sort of a right or wrong to it. It is, you look at a painting, you read a poem, you listen to a piece of music, and you hear or read or see what you want to see. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to go get something out of it just by the feel, or letting them deeply analyse all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry too much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find this kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. Oh, I got a scroller in this. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbour, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know, I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late, my retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realise now I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. God, that's dark as well. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right sort of person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. Oh, not that you knew, you idiot. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Interesting point. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. That's probably a good way to write. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So if you move your hand and go with the flow, that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Monica. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh no, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem on the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Oh no, they're not. I don't think they're gonna like each other, are they? Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Dan did too. Oh, don't drag me into this. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change it anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't. Oh, burn! And Dan liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Oh, Natsuki. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe we're just jealous that Dan approaches appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh, there's gonna be a fight. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew up a size bigger as soon as Dan started showing. Oh dear. Things are getting personal. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Oh god, it's time for me to run away. She's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out as the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Dan. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Dan? Oh god. Yeah, I think I need to find a new club. I'm sorry. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Oh god. Natsuki, Yuri, or Chicken Out have both hate me. Well, I did seem to, Natsuki... I don't know if I've got much in common with Natsuki. Yuri, certainly earlier in the game, in last episode we were reading a book together. And I know that she's quite sort of shy and unconfident, so I wouldn't want to side against her, because I think that would be quite damaging for her. I could choose the easy way out and go Sayori, but that then risks me upsetting both of them. I think I'm going to go Yuri. I'm siding with Yuri. Natsuki, you're right. The liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, but if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologised. Don't you think you should too? No, she does not want to apologise. Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need me to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at your faces right now. Oh dear. Oh, I did not want that to happen. Without warning, Natsuki snatches up her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Oh no. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Oh, that's not going to be good for Yuri either. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Dan. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as part of this club. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Ah, good idea. I wonder if she's talking about her breasticles. Making enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Because that would... Yeah, not being a woman, it's hard for me to say, but I imagine that would be fairly embarrassing. At least I certainly would be embarrassed. As a woman. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. how did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. I thought Nasuki went. Dan, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Or maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Dan, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No, that's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Dan, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's going to be quite reassuring, isn't it? Going to sort of a club that you're not sure you're going to enjoy, just to sort of please a friend, and actually turns out that everyone quite likes you anyway. Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like, oh dear, it looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Right, okay, I'm going to save this again. Let's save it on page 2. Oh, page 1, slot 2. Okay. So, still, I mean, it seems just to be a bit like one of those old dating sims. It seems to be sort of pushing me towards Yuri at the moment. I mean, initially with the book reading in the first, that sort of influenced my decision for the writing of the poem. She likes the poem. I then sort of backed her in the argument, so I'm going towards Yuri. She seems kind of dark in the sense that she seems quite sort of deep, quite profound. She's not afraid to explore sort of the darker side of things based on the book she's reading and the poem she was writing. So again, I'm wondering if the horror twist will come along and it will be something related to her. I'm gonna keep playing this. I'm gonna keep going and see what happens with it. But let's see what goes on. But anyway, thank you very much for watching again, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.